to do a little arc to try to get under you. 100 feet back, making that dive. Too cool here.
That 38 is no matter what I do, he's today.
Race friends, it's time for the fastest 2 hours in motorsports. It's time for On Pit Road Racing, right here, right now, live from downtown Las Vegas on the flagship station, the WCOBM Television Network. Our race team will have all the latest news, updates, and interviews for the world of motorsports. So buckle up and pull those belts tight. The green flag is in the air, and it's time to go racing. And here are the hosts of On Pit Road Racing, Alan Michaels and the First Lady, Diane Fox.
We are here. There he is, and I'm Alan Michaels along with Diane Fox here. Good afternoon.
We are in this really awesome space called Notoriety, and it's on the third floor,
Correct,
of the Neonopolis on Fremont Street. Chris, this is amazing. Chris runs the place, and it's so nice up here.
73,000 square foot of entertainment complex up here on the third floor. And if you come to Las Vegas, folks, make sure you come down because they have varieties of shows here. So one day you might come in and it's a magic act. You might see a burlesque show. You might see a drag show. You might see rock and roll music, R&B. You never know what Chris has got going on in here. So make sure that you come on down 450 Fremont Street up on the third floor is the Neonopolis complex. And today we celebrate the fourth annual 2024 4.0 Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, and we are doing a special live remote.
Yeah, and this is our fourth year up in Notoriety. So I look forward every year coming here because it's a fabulous place, and Gene puts on a great show.
Certainly does, and of course we're sort of disappointed that Mert Lawwell, who is the Lifetime Achievement, I heard that Mert had a fall a week or so he's not going to be able to make the show, but they did a very, very special presentation with Mert. He's going to be here. Some over 1,000 people have registered. We're just getting ready to unlock the door. So within about the next 10 minutes, there's going to be all kinds of screaming and yelling and all kinds of stuff going on. So
it's going to be a good time. So if you have nothing to do and you're watching this program and you're in here in Las Vegas, come on down to the to Fremont Street to the Neonopolis because third floor Notoriety. It's going to be a good time.
All kinds of stuff. Racing season getting cut underway. My buddy Scratch of the K. I just got a text from him. He is at Daytona International Speedway where they have just got the Rolex 24 underway there just a couple of hours ago. So they're going to be racing all through the day, all through tonight until tomorrow afternoon. And you catch it all on Peacock. So if you got Peacock, they've got flag-to-flag coverage of the Rolex 24. But today we're here to celebrate the motorcycle industry and the motorsports industry, speedway racing, motocross racing, flat track racing. Just if you got two wheels and they've been on it, then they're here. Some over 1,000 people have registered. The doors I see are starting to open. They're making their way over to Cami for souvenirs and merchandising. Gene Woods is here. Keith Mashburn, the president of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, is in attendance today. Jerry Bernardo is here. Terry Clanton is here. Terry and Jerry will be hosting the show. In fact, Diane, we've got a thing scrolling across the bottom of our screen right now. That the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame show is today, Saturday, January 27th, 2024, right here at 450 Fremont Street. You can actually watch the show live coming up at 7 o'clock tonight on the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame Facebook channel. We'll be streaming that show there. Terry Clanton and Jerry Bernardo will be the host of there. And I've been told that Mr. Ralph Shaheen is also in town today, so we might get a chance to talk to Ralph and see what's going on there. But a great time here as we celebrate the fourth annual 4.0 Hot Shoe Hall of Fame right here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and we do it each and every year. Of course, Diane, this is a fundraising type of thing. The Hot Shoe is a 501c3 nonprofit. Gene put this together along with all the staff and the crew here. We take absolutely no money. We don't do anything. We put this, our time is in our hearts to support the motorcycle industry. And we have the Heart Shoes, and they've got them out here for sale today. You can just log on to the World Wide Web at hotshoehof.com. I always want to say Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, but it's HOF.
I do that all the time. Yeah.
But they've got all kinds of information and news and everything out there for you. And you can get T-shirts and hats and all kinds of stuff. And you can make donations to the Hot Shoe. So what this does is that Gene put together a really nice van. We've seen that, Diane. We've been out in multiple locations and churches and youth groups in different places along, been here in Las Vegas, to Sacramento, California. So what we do is we take the heart shoes, we put them on people's feet. Well, to do that, we need money to do that. So we have one event every year, and this is it. We raise the money that in.
Raise the money this way.
Just about had a fit yesterday because Gene didn't tell him that 1,000 more pairs of tennis shoes just came in yesterday. 10 boxes out of 100 pairs of pop. So we'll be getting rid of some shoes out there. Want to welcome you aboard today. It's Motorcycling today at the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. We're at the Indianapolis Complex. Yours truly and Diane along with you. And we'll just have this. So we'll get things going. We'll get some interviews. We're going to have the president of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, Keith Mashburn, is going to be joining us a little bit. Tom Blattner's up there. Man, Tom's with us today. He does all the PR. You know that he actually wrote Gene's first PR thing when Gene was like 11.
He's one heck of a writer, that's for sure. He's a fabulous writer. Tom
now works for Tony Stewart and Tony Stewart Racing, and for his NHRA team. He also does some time with Ray Hall Letterman on the IndyCar. He does a lot of press stuff and a lot of things with that. So Tom's out here today, so I might get a shot. I asked him. I said, you let the cat out of the bag about Tony Stewart. I said, if he tested that top fuel, he said he hadn't this year, but he said he's pretty much ready to go for that. So Tony Stewart is jumping from NASCAR, IndyCar, from alcohol dragster to top fuel. So,
and look what we have walking in. I wish these people could see this, but we have some very, 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 very sexy.
Well, the showgirls are here.
Showgirls
the showgirls are here.
And what's Vegas without a showgirl? So
I guess so.
We've got the showgirls at the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame.
There you go. We're doing it live out here for you at the Indianapolis Complex until 6:30 today. That's about an hour and a half, and we'll do the pre-show. And after that, we're going to turn it over to Jerry and to Terry Clanton, and they'll be over in the big main room. And, of course, you can watch the live stream of today's Hot Shoe Hall of Fame awards ceremony right here. So all kinds of 1,000 people coming in, registered. Diana, I think it's one of the biggest crowds Gene's going to have.
Oh, I think so, too. It just grows. It grows every year.
I think his eyes were about to pop out of his head when I looked at him and I said, well, how many got pre-registered? He said, we're over 900 and pushing 1,000 right now. So that doesn't include the walk-ins that are going to be coming up here too. So
right.
That's that. Hey, we're going to take a quick little break. Let's pay a little bills or two. When we come back, we got more for you as the pre-show continues on right here at the Indianapolis Complex, the 4th annual Hot Shoe Hall of Fame and Award Show. Doing it for you right here.
Welcome to my world. Handicapped man down at a charity feed. Great spread this morning. God, it was horrible. But it made what I needed to happen. Then I had these people that stopped and said, hey, you want some shoes? I said, yeah, I was going to need to get some anyway. So might as well. And if it really comes to fruition, help them buy more shoes so that we can help more people. Well, I'm not but...
Las Vegas, Nevada, where everything seems to move a little bit faster.
Like a lot faster. Like 200 miles an hour faster. It's more than a race. It's full throttle insanity. The drivers aren't the only ones on the joyride.
Family, friends, and unforgettable moments. I'm talking full throttle mayhem. I'm talking NASCAR in Vegas. What could go wrong?
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
Looking good out there for you. Coming up, man, about 10 minutes after the hour here on a Saturday afternoon. We're live from the Indianapolis Complex, 3rd floor, 4th annual Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. Alan Michaels, Diane Fox. Doing it right, man. Fourth year, girl. We're here. And 50 people got hot shoes on the wall this year.
That's right. And see, people are already lining up to pick up their Hot Shoe Hall of Fame plaques here. So the party started. So.
Yeah, it's on the way. And of course, the bar's open. Everybody's that. They got food provided by our good friends at Woods Family Sandwiches. In fact, real quickly, let me throw out a couple of quick things here for you. Hey, if you are looking for some good catering, some good deli style stuff, man, Woods Family Sandwiches is the place to do it. You can catch them online at World Wide Web at woodsfamilysandwiches.com. All right, so make sure you do that. Want to say hi and hello to our good friends out at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, LVMS.com, man. Of course, they've got car racing. They got motorcycle racing out there, too, on those two big dirt tracks.
Yes, they do.
They run the dirts out there. They got the old fulls on the asphalt, so they got some GP racing that they run out there. So not only is NASCAR, NHRA there, but they got motorcycle racing out there. Just log on to LVMS.com and go to the events, and it'll tell you everything that they got coming. Also want to thank our good friends at Atlanta Motorsports Park, man, down in Dawsonville, Georgia, home of the Bad Bill from Dawsonville out there, man. Yes, indeed. And, man, if you're talking about a great place to go, we are just biting at the chomp to get down there because they've got condos. Diane, I was watching a video clip on it. Gene Woods has got a drift and go-kart track. Well, he's got Jeremy and those guys down at Atlanta Motorsports Park got drifting, but you do them in BMWs down there. So I mean,
I don't think I'd be able to drive one, but I would certainly do a ride along. So
there you go. I have a good time. Well, everything is opened up, and this is the 4th annual Hot Shoe Hall of Fame as we're doing it for you. 4th year in a row. This is our 2nd year to actually do it. We live streamed our 1st year, then we got sort of talking to doing merchandising and this and that. So, but this year, Gene said, set the system up. Let's rock and roll with it. So that's what we're doing. And of course, coming up at 7 o'clock tonight, they'll all be able to catch the live stream right from the big main showroom. Neonopolis Complex. We're at the Notoriety Nightclub up on the 3rd floor. Yes, indeed. There we go. I see Yamamoto Skip Johnson's walking by. People are coming in and getting set up, ready to go. Plaques will be going down. Souvenirs are here.
People are walking up to the bar. So, hey, it's going to be a good party tonight.
I like to walk up to the bar.
Well,
maybe after the show, we'll walk up. Walk up there and get us a cold frosty.
I've been sitting here watching because, I mean, they look like they've got some really, really different drinks.
He's got all kinds of. He's got.
I'm watching. I guess I'm fading. I'm not fading, but I'm just like.
I was going to say,
it's
Chris,
so pretty up here. So
he's got. I mean, it's a really nice complex up here. And he's got a movie. That was the movie that Gene was in, along with all of his speedway racing guys. So they're showing that up here today. So it's just everybody's asked me. They said, "Well, what did this is?" And Diane, what's the best way you think you could describe what this all is up here?
A reunion.
Okay.
This is I take it as a big family reunion because I do notice and I have noticed in the past few years that there's a lot of people that when you see them see each other, they'll look at each other like, oh, man, I haven't seen you in 20, 30 years.
What's really neat is
it's like and the motor racing world is nothing but a big family. I mean, it's all one big family. And it's like you have not seen these people, like high school friends that you haven't seen in years, like you're going to a class reunion. Well, you know what? This is just like a reunion.
Yep. It certainly is. You know what? And I think this is the thing, too, is over the first couple of years that we were up here doing and working with Gene on this project, that I saw so many people that came in and hadn't seen people for so long. And they said, man, I saw pictures of your kids are growing up and now your grandkids are getting ready to go to college and everything else. So it's really neat to see it. And this is not a fancy event. This is not tour clothing. No. This is not 5-inch high heels for the ladies and $500 loafers for the guys and whatever tuxedos.
I think that the most dressed up you'll see here is those showgirls over there standing up over there. That's probably the only people that you're going to actually see very well dressed.
Yeah, there it is.
Not well dressed, but very classy dressed. Everybody seems to be coming in racing t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, jeans,
boots,
tennis shoes. Yeah.
That's racing, man. They're racing. Gene I always liked what Gene was talking to a couple one time, says, if you show up in a tuxedo or a couture dress, we'll throw you out the door. So I always thought, no, we wouldn't really throw you out the door, but I mean, I mean, will you feel a little out of place? You might feel
You
out
might
of
feel a
place.
little out of place, yes.
We are live at the Notoriety Nightclub, third floor of the Neonopolis Complex, downtown Las Vegas, 450 Fremont Street is where we're at. This is the 4th annual Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, and Diane and I have got the pre-show started for you, and we'll be here for about another hour or so. Then we're going to turn it over to Jerry Bernardo and to Terry Klan. They're going to be over in the main room. And, of course, if you're watching the program now, want more information or anything like that, then what you can do is they're going to stream this live on the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame's Facebook page. So you can get on that and check it out and watch Jerry and Terry be knuckleheads. And have that. I've sitting. Oh, Jerry's been over in the corner. I think he's been working on his stuff tonight. He's getting his talent back in together.
Okay.
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 All right, there it is. Hey, want to remind you, don't forget On Pit Road Racing 3 days a week for you on Mondays, 4 to 5 p.m. Scratch joins me live from Daytona. Diane and I have the 2-hour Super Show on Wednesday. And, man, we've got the Jacks brothers coming in. Rob P's going to be along with us this week, man. So live in studio, we'll have the Jacks brothers in there. We've been watching those kids ever since they.
Both of them?
Both of them. We got Kyle and Sam.
And you know, one of them is a daddy.
Which one?
I cannot remember. I want to say it's Sam.
Sam?
I mean, I follow him on Facebook and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll just I'll have to double check.
Good bunch of kids, really.
I just can't believe that they're daddies now. I mean, they're grown up. You know,
we started watching these kids when they were racing 14, 15 years old, and it's been
they're
14 years we've been here. So
they're young adults now. So it's really it's cool.
Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, 4th annual for you, man. It is up and rolling right now. The doors are open. People coming in. They're getting their plaques and having a good time. The Vegas showgirls are here to get their picture taken with. And we're here just to get everybody rolling along. And if you've not been to an event like this before, it's definitely, I want to thank all the likes and loves out there. We do appreciate that. And don't forget, we'll also set this show so that you can re-watch it again back on your own time. That's what the streaming is all about, sort of like the Hulu and Netflix and everything else, right?
Right.
All right, there you go.
Right.
Looking good for us out there, having a great day as we do it live from On Pit Road Racing. Is live streaming here from and the showgirls walking by. We'll take a quick break, come back, and we'll get more rolling for you as the party has just begun right here on Pit Road Racing live at the WCOBM. Back after this, everybody.
Las Vegas, Nevada, where everything seems to move a little bit faster.
Like a lot faster. Like 200 miles an hour faster. It's more than a race. It's full throttle insanity. The drivers aren't the only ones on the joyride.
Family, friends, and unforgettable moments. I'm talking full throttle mayhem. I'm talking NASCAR in Vegas. What could Jerry?
Jerry B here up in Sacramento, Union Gospel Mission, giving out some shoes to the homeless here. A lot of smiling faces. We got one deal. We give you a pair of shoes. You got to give us a smirk and a photo. And this is the mission of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, which is a non-profit organization based out of Las Vegas, started by Gene Woods. We're trying to do good things and fill little holes in people's lives the best we can. And today we're up in Sacramento, just doing the best we can. Thanks for supporting us.
Las Vegas, Nevada, where everything seems to move a little bit faster.
Like a lot faster. Like 200 miles an hour faster. It's more than a race. It's full throttle insanity. The drivers aren't the only ones on the joyride.
Family, friends, and unforgettable moments. I'm talking full throttle mayhem. I'm talking NASCAR in Vegas. What could go wrong?
And there we go.
There we go.
There we go.
You know, it is a full moon.
It's full moon.
And you know what? If something goes wrong or something has a glitch or something, it's in the universe. It's nothing that we're doing. It's nothing that anybody else is doing. It's in the universe. I'm sorry. It's a full moon.
Yeah, the stream still kept going, so that was pretty neat. Oh, he just lost that. Yeah, it's all kinds of stuff going on. And of course, his internet connections down in this area are just not the greatest.
Well,
but here to there.
you got so many buildings and yeah, you got a lot of people doing everything on the internet. So yeah,
No excuses about it.
no excuses. It's the universe. I will blame the universe.
I'm looking across the floor and I see the founder of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, Mr. Gene Woods, sitting right there, man, and he's he's hauling signs. I like that t-shirt. You got a brand new t-shirt of his brother Rick on today, man.
Yeah, and you know what? A really cool straw hat over there is calling my name.
Put your name on it.
I'm gonna have to get it over here somehow just so I can show everybody because this is it's really cool.
It is. He's got some really cool stuff, and we're doing it up there. There she goes. She wants to see the hat. Oh my goodness! Bring the straw hat.
Yeah,
over
we're
here.
gonna. I'm gonna show. I'm gonna show everybody this hat. This hat is just so cool. I mean, check this out. Check this hat out.
Yeah, but you got to show them the underneath.
I know.
of it.
But this is so cool. Watch this. This is so cool.
There,
Look
there.
at this. I mean, yes, this is so cool.
There you go.
This will be my hat before the end.
You're
of
trying to have her stash that off to the size.
Oh
that
no
you're
no
trying
no! Gene's already told me to come see him.
to
So
get it. He'll give it to you when
I've
he's
been
done.
looking for a really good straw hat, because me and MS and the heat and stuff, we don't get along. But if my head is cool, I'm good.
There you go.
And I think I think a hat like that'll do the trick. So
More and more people are starting to roll in. The showgirls are up on the stage here as the doors are open. It just got about 20 minutes ago, and this party goes all the way till about 10 o'clock tonight. Is everybody picking up the class? It's the class of 2024 for the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame right there. Definitely
I don't
looking
know.
good.
Maybe we can get Gene to come over.
I don't
here
know.
and sit
I
down.
want that T-shirt that he's got right there. I want that shirt. I don't know where he got that shirt
What
from.
is it? I don't see.
It's something with his brother with Rick on the front of it right there.
Oh, I can't see. I can't see.
want
it.
that
It's
shirt.
dark in here. So
I grab a hold of him and just, well, I tell you, I grab a hold of him and you skin him alive off of that thing right there. So anyhow, that's what we got going on. Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. It's the 4th annual, the 4.0. As we get the pre-show started here, it's just about 30 minutes after the hour. We are just about an hour and a half away from the show actually starting. We'll be on until 6:30 tonight, and then we'll take a quick pause. We'll send the feed over to Terry Clanton and Jerry Bernardo, who will be hosting the show in the main room tonight. And over 1,000 people coming into the doors right now, and they're selling the shirts and hats and everything else.
Oh yeah,
They're rocking and rolling.
There's it's a busy chatter over there at the merchandise tent. So
It is. So we're looking forward to it. And if you're involved in the motorcycle industry and want to know how to get yourself on the wall here, then all you need to do is just come on down. You log on to hotshoehof.com. There's a submission there. And as far as I know, man, you got to have at least a 15, 20-year career in racing, whether it's flat track, speedway, motocross, enduro, whatever it might be. So you got to have a good career into it. You don't have to be a national champion. Did you put the time in on the bikes? So what you do is you get on register, put the person in that you want to get registered for it, and we'll set them up and have a good time along with it. Okay, On Pit Road Racing is live here at the WCOBM as we do it for you pre-show kicking off, and of course coming up at 7 o'clock the live stream from the main room. Terry Clanton and Jerry Bernardo will be hosting that for you, so definitely stick around for that. Have a good time with us all day long. On Pit Road Racing continues on, everyone, right after this. So stick with us, okay? Have a good day out there. Back right after this, everybody.
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. Downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
on the first floor, so go on down and try that. 12,000 square foot of indoor drift track racing, man. Not a speed track, a true sliding drift track. Open Monday, open 7 days a week for you, man, from noon to midnight. Never closes except twice a year on Thanksgiving and Christmas Day. We shut the doors down so everybody's friends and family can have a good time along with it, man. We are rolling into our first half hour right here, and still about 55 minutes or so to go before we turn the show over to Jerry Clanton and Jerry Bernardo. There'll be Terry Clanton and Jerry Bernardo. They'll be hosting over in the big main room tonight, so definitely have a good time with that. Make sure that you come on down. All kinds of things to do here in Las Vegas, man. Get down to the Neonopolis complex. We're on the first floor. Of course, the WCOBM network's there. Gene's racetrack is in there, and also headquarters for the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, and the wall's just growing, Diane. It's growing.
It is. Oh, yeah. And once you walk in, if you've never been in the Gene Woods Racing Experience on Fremont Street, when you walk in, you're going to be amazed. You're going to be amazed at all the different plaques and the plaques that have the shoes, the hot shoes on them. It's something to see.
Wait a second, he's rolling by here. I want that shirt. I want that shirt you got on. I want a copy of that.
Anything to us?
I know you wouldn't even walk. He pays for a network. I want that. I want a copy of that Rick Wood shirt. I want one of those.
Would you like to come sit down and just chat with it and let everybody know what's?
1 minute. Right. Okay.
You heard that, guys. He'll be back. He's got 1 minute.
All right. 1 minute. So just take the headset off. Take the headset off and let him plug in there real quick, and we'll give him a minute, and he can do that. Diane will slide out of the way. Yes, indeed. Wait a second. Is that the same shirt? Yeah, it is. I want that shirt.
What are we doing?
I don't know. You're the founder of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. This is the 4th annual. You got about 900 or 1,000 people getting ready to charge through the doors here. So, I mean, what do you say, founder?
Well, first off, it's a pleasure to have everybody here and get all the old people together before we can't get them together.
Right.
And induct the people that deserve to be in this thing before they pass.
Right.
Recognize people and get everybody, like I said, get everybody together and have a good time.
In case you didn't know, this is the 3-time U.S. National Speedway Motorcycle Champion, Gene Woods. He is the founder of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. Keith Mashburn, our president of it. And I had a couple of questions that came in. How does somebody get into the Hall of Fame?
You go to the Hot Shoe, it's called Hot Shoe HOF website, and there's an inductee application on there.
Okay.
That's how simple. They fill out the application. The application goes to all of our board members. The board decides who gets in.
And it's simple as that.
As simple as that.
Yep.
And the information you put on the inductee application is exactly what goes on your plaque. If it's misspelled, it's going to be misspelled on your plaque.
And if you don't send the right picture, then you don't get a right picture on
That's
there.
right.
That's it.
That's right.
So are we taking nominations for year number 5 coming up? I guess it'll be the 5.0 or whatever.
Yeah, we put them in a file. We already have people scheduled for next year. So
Right.
we put them in a file and then we sort through them.
Real question. We had another question too. Mert Lawwell, our lifetime achievement, where I heard Mert had a little accident. So we did a really nice video.
Mert's not well enough to be here right now.
Right.
But he did do a video for us. And there will be a little presentation for Mert, and Garth Brown will be accepting the award for Mert.
There you go, man. We're rolling just about 35 minutes after the hour. We got just about just a little under an hour to go. Then we're going to turn it over to the main room where Terry Clanton and the one and only Jerry Bernardo will be hosting the show. Is Ralph Shaheen made it in yet?
Ralph, I haven't seen Ralph yet, but he will be here. He's doing the auction, and then he's coming here.
He's doing the auction, then he's
I imagine he'll be here around 6 o'clock.
When you make your way to the other side of the room, will you
I'm going to go do some work.
Will you send Keith Mashburn over here? He was supposed to be here about 5:30 today.
I'll go get you somebody.
All right, go get me somebody. There we go. Gene Woods, the founder of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. He's up on the floor. He ain't walking around in no tuxedo, buddy. I want that Rick Wood shirt, though. I like that shirt. I like that. I gotta get that shirt right there.
Well, we'll just have to figure out how to get it off of him. Then, yes. I guess mug him. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's it. We're going to see if we can't scope in the president of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame here, Mr. Keith Mashburn. You know that he's the mayor of Simi Valley, I believe.
And I don't think I've ever met him.
Never met Keith?
I don't think I've ever met him. I could have. I mean, what? No, this is the 4th year, and I've had people walk by and wave hi, and I'll wave hi back to them. It's not that. I mean, I have just met so many people over the past 4 years that I can't put a face to,
I had people walking up to me going,
to every face.
Walking and pat me on the back going, how you doing, Alan? Good to see you. Good to see you. And I turn around. I'm like, I know that I met this person before.
Yeah.
But when you get shoved in with 1,000 people coming at you at one time, it's hard. When I was a disc jockey, you remember how I used to remember people by the songs that they would request? So if you would come in and say you were Okay, Keith. Yeah, we got Keith Mashburn, the president. But I used to remember you'd come in, and if you liked Foreigner, I'd call you the Foreigner chick. That's what I would call you. If a guy would walk up and said, "Hey, play Led Zeppelin," I'd call him Led Zeppelin man. That's what I would do.
I just can't tell these racers from. I just can't tell them apart. And I know I've met him. I know I've seen him. At least once a year.
Right.
But at this Hot Shoe Hall of Fame award show for the past 4 years. But I just have a hard time because I have met so many really nice people,
Right.
And but yeah, people walk by and go, "Hi, Diane, how you doing?" And I just kind of just kind of smile and wave back because it's a big old family. I just figured out. I just feel like all these people are a part of my family. So
we got it in. Of course, we have stage and set lighting here, so that it all sort of wiggles in. So when people are walking by, you're trying to look at them. And I saw Gene because he had that Rick Wood shirt on. I gotta find his shirt.
And we look a little blue right now, but that's only because of the lights above us. They're really cool. I mean, look at these beautiful lights up above us. The chandeliers and stuff. They're really cool.
Yep, it's actually, if you've never been down here, it's a great place to come to, man. It really is. They have all kinds of different entertainment up here on a nightly, weekly basis. So you can come on down and have a good time right there. And here he comes. If you want to jump up real quick and let him slide in right here, he comes.
This?
Yeah, let him have that one real quick, and then we'll do that. And if you want, Diane, go ahead and plug the head. You can go ahead and put the wireless on. And we'll have Mr. Keith set right here. Yes, sir. Come right on in. Bring your cocktail with you. I'm sure you're no surprise to headsets and microphones and all that, sir.
No, sir.
There you go.
I don't hear you.
Do you hear me now, sir?
Give me a little more.
You want a little more on the headset?
Oh, wait. Now we're starting to get.
There we go. How about that, sir? Does that work for you?
There we go.
There
Perfect.
you go. We are on a World Wide Web right now, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, the president of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. Yes, indeed. There you go, Mr. Keith Mashburn. Good afternoon.
Yes,
to you,
sir.
And
I got my hot shoe on, huh?
You got your official new shirts on?
Yeah, my new shirt. Well, it's a year old.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, Gene had these made for us, made it for the Hot Shoe Show here for us.
All right. Well, you are the top hot shoe.
No, I'm not the top hot shoe. Terry Clan and Bernardo, those guys are the headliners tonight.
They sure are. And it's a wonderful evening.
I don't mind being the opening act, though. You know what I mean? That's a good thing. How did you get involved, Keith? How did you get involved? And first of all, let's talk a little bit about your racing career. You did some time on the track, so tell everybody about it.
Oh, let me back up to 1964. I was 14 years old, and my dad bought me a Honda 50. And had a neighbor that raced a lot and rode the desert and says, "You better race that thing." And so we did.
Yeah.
And that took me off on multiple sportsman sponsorships, Greaves, Bultaco, Montesa. Did really well. I was very fortunate. And I hit age 17. I was #1 sportsman in Southern California. And meaning I'm going to ride Ascot at age 18.
Right.
And that's when Yamaha came out with the DT1 and they needed the rider. Who are they going to choose? And so Yamaha came to me and offered me a contract, and I was a factory Yamaha rider just like overnight.
Just like that. Snap of a finger and it went right on, huh?
Yes.
So that and now you're also in politics or in government in California, am I correct?
Yes, I was on the city council, many steps leading up to that, but I became a city councilman in the city of Simi Valley, where the Corriganville or Hopetown Grand Prix started. And the last 4 years of my term there, I was the mayor, which is an elected position.
Correct.
So I'm an elected mayor of a city in Southern California of about 130,000 people.
Wow. I've never been to Simi Valley. I've heard it's very, very pretty. I've never been to there. And I was looking forward to go to Sacramento. And then I heard this news that there's no more. What is going on with Sacramento, California? They don't want racing there no more?
Well, if you look at Sacramento as kind of the government of California, you understand the whole problem.
Okay. All right.
I don't want to go there.
Well, you know what I've said, Keith, and I'll state it. You know what? They might be saying, well, let's get it out of here, but whoever does the bookkeeping, when it comes down to reading the books for that following year and they're a little short on the money and they realize that, us motorcycles, us racing people, we don't mind spending some money when it goes to it, right? I think that's where they're going to see it. Could we see a reverse decision here? Could we see to get back out?
It's amazing. For politicians, they only see your money and my money.
Yeah.
They don't see any of their own. They don't spend it like their own. I have to say, I'm now a Texan.
You're a Texan?
I'm a Texan.
You moved to Texas?
I moved to Texas.
What part of it?
North of Dallas, up by Denton, very, very close to the Texas Motor Speedway. I can hear the cars from my house.
Now, my wife will look at you over here, and there's one big thing. Do we need to do a Jimmy Johnson? How about them Cowboys?
Oh, how about those Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys?
Yes. But it's been a great move. I've got 2 grandsons that are just thriving in Texas schools. They're very active in sports, and it's just been a wonderful move for us.
Final question: How and when did you get involved in the Hot Shoe, and why did you want to jump on this nonprofit the way we've done?
Well, once when I saw what it was about, it's about giving. It's about giving to people who need, and I've been a first responder for 35 years, whatever it is. I'm used to providing services to people that need, and this is another way of staying involved and providing through our relationship with the motorcycle industry and giving back to a community that deserves some help. And we can look through Gene Wood's eyes. We can look and see exactly where the money's going.
Right.
And I think it's such a wonderful deal. Gene asked if I would be interested in serving on the board, and I jumped all over it. I raced with Gene's brother, Rick.
Yeah.
The late Rick. Great guy. And I remember Rick very well, and it's almost like a tribute to him that I've gotten to know Gene and being able to help him do these great things.
It's just I really that, and in fact we just logged on and got a message that Diane and I are not only in motorcycles, but we're involved in 4-wheel racing too, and come for the spring race when we're here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Pennzoil 400 presented by Jiffy Lube. We're going to take 50 pairs of shoes out for the Speedway Children's Charities Fund, and we're going to put some shoes on some kids, Keith. So,
that's what it's all about, and I'm all for it, and not only the kids. I mean, definitely the kids.
Right.
We got to help them, and that's what we're all about as motorcycle guys, but also the people that aren't as fortunate as us.
Right.
They're walking the streets and it's cold out and they don't have shoes. And most of us are throwing these shoes away that they can get lots of miles out.
Right.
So let's help them.
I agree with you 100%. I think it's a great thing, not only helping the kids, but helping men, women of all ages, whether they're young, teenagers, adults, young adults, older adults, and you're right, Keith. We've seen a bunch of, and we have stopped in the van and just jumped out and looked at him and said, "Are you a size 11?" And the shoes were about and just give a guy a pair of shoes right then and there.
And the thing that I have in my mind, I'm not going to give them something that they're going to turn into a bottle of wine or something and continue a bad habit of an abuse or anything. I'm going to give them something they need and they can use and they can't get high on.
There you go. I totally agree. And I just think it's that. And we're trying to get it out. In fact, this year for this program, we're not doing any advertising as far as you could call me up with your business and say, I'd like 100 commercials on your show. Well, you're not going to write Gene a check. You're not going to write me a check. You're not going to write the WCOBM a check. What you're going to do is any advertiser out there is going to write the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame a check, either for $500 or $1,000. And that, depending on that amount, is how many spots that you'll get on this network that goes worldwide 3 times a week, Keith. So that's what we're going to do.
If there's one thing I learned in politics, it's transparency and data. Keep track of the money. Follow that money. And I know with Gene, that money is going to go to a good cause.
Yep.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Yes, sir.
I wouldn't be involved.
Yes, sir.
But that's one thing that we can take away from government and say, don't do it like them. do it correctly.
I agree
And
with
that's
you.
exactly what the Hall of Fame will do.
Ladies and gentlemen, the president of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, Mr. Keith Mashburn, has joined us live here for the stream, and you've got some duties to do up on the stage tonight. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go. You know how many people are here tonight that are my idols.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I love it. I'm sitting with Ralph White and Ed Burke, who ran Yamaha when I was there and ran for many, many years. And so I'm like a kid in a candy store. I mean, I'm with all these heroes.
You know, it was last year, and I was downstairs down in the main part of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, and Brad Lackey walked in. When I was a kid growing up, Kenny Roberts and Brad Lackey posters, we used to go to the Yamaha shop and buy the most cheapest little thing we could get so we could get a Kenny Roberts poster, right? And then again with Brad Lackey and his. And then I said, you know, Gene walked in and I said, you know, man, I grew up watching Brad race, man, on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Yes.
And I said, man, I'd really like to meet him. He turned around and he goes, Brad, come over here. I got to introduce you. And of course, the picture on the wall and the plaque wasn't the same picture. He goes, I really don't look like that. I've eaten a lot of food, drank a lot of beer since then. And I said, well, Brad, it was nice to meet you, but one hell of a good guy. And here's something else, Keith, before I let you go. What I've always liked, not only about the motorcycle and the motorsports business, this is family here.
It is.
The people here are family. We are willing to help you if you needed something to eat or a ride somewhere. Motorcycle and motorsports people will chip in a heartbeat to get you wherever you need.
You know, I agree with you 100%. I made a mistake. I went on a cruise, and I told my wife after the cruise, I says, I forgot to bring any T-shirts that associated me with the motorcycle industry, because once you see a shirt of another fellow rider, you may have never met each other. You may live many states apart. When you make that connection, your friends, your family.
For life. And that's what I've spent 30 years in the motorsports and broadcasting business, and I've spun records for every type of music station. But until I got involved with motorsports, I found a home. Whether it's cars or bikes, it makes no difference. They're all the same.
Yes.
They're family.
Yes.
The president of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, Mr. Keith Mashburn, thank you so much for
Thank
taking
you.
time and joining
Thank
us,
you.
man. And
I
we're looking
appreciate
forward
it.
to working with you guys. We're going to take a quick break. Diane's going to be back. We'll chat a little more. We've got just about 40 minutes left to go. We're going to turn this thing over to Jerry and Terry over in the big room. And once again, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
I think
Thank
I'm
you.
about ready to hit one of them myself. You know what I mean? There we go. Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, the 4th annual, is live at the WCOBM at the Notoriety Nightclub on the 3rd floor of the Neonopolis. Back with more right after this.
Las Vegas, Nevada, where everything seems to move a little bit faster.
Like a lot faster. Like 200 miles an hour faster. It's more than a race. It's full throttle insanity. The drivers aren't the only ones on the joyride.
Family, friends, and unforgettable moments. I'm talking full throttle mayhem. I'm talking NASCAR in Vegas. What could go wrong?
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. Downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
Downtown Las Vegas, as we are in our next hour, about 40 minutes left or so, Diane, before we
that
turn.
was a great interview with Keith Mashburn. That was really great interview. And yes, I have met him before.
Have you?
I guess I just didn't, I can't, like I said, it's hard to put the faces, the names with the faces and stuff when you meet so many great people.
There you go.
But while you were talking to Mr. Mashburn, Gene
Yes.
is setting up one of his friends, I guess.
Yeah.
Mike Cram, he's motocross.
Yeah.
And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put him in the hot seat.
All right.
Be kind to him because
will.
Gene set him up.
Gene set him up.
Gene set him
Oh
up.
my
so-
goodness gracious! Did you? We'll make sure that Gene gets you a drink, a cocktail, or something, food before this is all over with.
Yeah,
sir.
Gene knows him. So I'm
right.
going to put him in my seat, in
All
the
right.
hot seat,
All right.
and we're going to let you go ahead and go. Okay.
There you go, man. We'll get Mike to step in here. We're doing it live for you. About 40 minutes left to go. We turned over to Terry Clanton and also the one and only wild man, Jerry Bernardo, right there. Mr. Mike Cram is coming in. Number 1, 1971 motocross racer. Did I say that right, sir?
Yes.
All righty. Well, how did you get started racing motocross? Tell everybody, my friend.
Well, I had a neighbor across the street who kind of like adopted me. He was a desert rider, and he got me involved with motorcycles. And I rode the desert, and then we got hooked up with Malcolm Smith, and he told me I need to go to motocross, and here I am. There I went.
There you go.
Yep, and everything else just went smoothly after that.
Long career? How many years
Oh,
of career, sir?
Probably like 5 years.
5 years?
Mhm.
Well, man, and that's it. And what's man, I grew up watching. I started racing mini bikes back when Honda had the little Mini 50, right? The little mini trail. Then they had the XR 75, right? Then we went to the Elsinore, the green Honda, right? And then but I ended up having a bad accident, broke my hip, broke my jaw, and I got up 2 days later, looked at my father and said, "Sell it all, man. I'm done with this," So but motocross racing, what have you seen the big changes over the year? Bikes, riders, talent?
Bikes, just the bikes itself. It's just the suspension and the bikes. And I go back to when Carlsbad, me and Tom Rapp, all of us used to lay the track out when CMC started. So Saddleback, so we did all that stuff. Then I went on an Inter-Am with Tim Hart and Tom Rapp, and all of us did the Inter-Am. So just the bikes, really.
Right.
And then you talk about having an accident. I got hurt a long time after I retired, and I ended up in the hospital 9 months. Gave me 5% to live, so I never walk again. Here I am today with no pain.
No pain at all.
Everything's perfect.
I've noticed, the bikes. I've noticed, though, that it seems like the riders from the older days seem to be a little bit tougher than what these young kids that are coming out. I mean, maybe the bikes were harder to ride than what they are now. I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, they are. I mean, the bikes back then, we thought we had suspension, and now today, after riding a new bike, we didn't have it, but we dealt with what we had at that time, and we thought we had nice stuff, and we did. I went from Bultaco to Mako. Mako picked me up to ride for him, so I got number 1 here in CMC. So just think every year things change. So the bikes and everything. So I went to 4 wheels. I'm in the boats and all that stuff now. So
really, you racing the boats?
No, I'm built deck boats. I mean, I got fast deck boats to run out in Havasu. I live in Havasu now, so out there with Kenny and a lot of riders or ex-riders who live out there in Havasu right now.
Right. Toughest guy you ever raced against?
Well, the toughest guy. I mean, gosh, all of them.
All of them?
Well, I mean, it goes back to John DeSoto, Tim Hart, all those days when I was around. And those are guys, we go to races and figure out who's going to be 1 through, third, who's going to be first, second, and third. And,
Well, hold a number 1 plate, man. You get a number 1 plate. Is there one guy out there that you never could beat? I mean, if you got onto the track and you said, "Today I got your number, I got your number." Was there ever one at all?
I think all of us could be beat on certain days, I mean, yeah, there one day if it was Tim Hart, who's no longer with us, but if he had a bad day, you could beat him. If I had a bad day, you could beat me. So those are like my competition, like Hart and DeSoto and those guys.
Those guys out there, yeah, it's definitely changed. I've watched it the other day, going, Tony. It seems like the motocross has sort of turned into more of a show type of thing with all the pyrotechnics and blowing up stuff.
Well,
and everything else.
Because of the fans.
Yeah.
The fans could go to Anaheim like they're at the night, and and sit there and watch the races. I mean, it brings in money. It's all about the corporate world right now. Back in our days, most of the people wouldn't $5 to enter a race at Saddleback.
Right.
And so you just did for fun and did things. But nowadays, the riders ride every day.
Favorite track you like to ride on?
Well, I went back east, and there's a lot of tracks I rode back there I really liked because I like the soil, pair of the Saddleback. But when I was in that accident, I was in a coma for 4 months, so I lost part of my memory about. I could picture the tracks, but I don't know the names of them. So I just like riding back then. It didn't matter where we went. Me and Preston Petty used to fly like every month and give riding schools and everything. So that's what I did. Today it's a different world.
What do you think about all this here with the hot shoe and everything else that's going on with this, Mike?
I think Gene does a good job. I mean, he keeps all the old people around, still around. I mean, I went to the auction today and saw, Gary Smith and everybody around that you don't see,
Right.
And me and him were talking about today. You know, Will Smith guy. Back in our days, he was a fast guy too. And you know, my buddies are all in Anaheim today, and I talked to them over there. But I came here because I saw Gene. He asked me if I could come. So, because I got put in the whole thing here a couple years ago, I believe it was. Yeah. So I told Gene I would be here.
I'll tell you, that thing has really grown downstairs. Gene looked at me the other day. He goes, Mike, he goes, how many more rooms? I said, Gene, I think you got about another year, and then we're going to have to start putting, either you're going to have to buy that section of building next to us, or we'll just start putting them around in the go-kart track, you know?
That was fun. I was here last week, and that's what we were talking about. So we're going to put all these plaques down the road here. But like I saw Lackey, and he was here last year. I told him I'd meet him here, but I couldn't come. So it's that. It's just something. It's just all us old guys now talking now. We didn't ever realize where we're going to be today. Now we just like seeing each other.
And you know, this is what I've heard. This is my fourth time, Mike, with the show and working with Gene up here. And the thing that I saw the most of it is that people haven't seen each other in so many years. I heard a gentleman say, "Man, I watched your kids grow up, and now your grandkids are all, your grandson is on his way to college next year." Yep. And it's just good to see in hands. And I said this, Mike, I spent some time with motorcycles, spent a lot of time with cars and racing cars. But there's one thing, whether it's motorcycles, whether it's car racing, no matter what, motorsports, there's one thing that I've always believed. This industry and this thing is family, and we all stick together.
All family. It is all family. And that's what's so nice about it, is just that's what it's all about. Nowadays, you know, like the top riders now, you know, look at the money they make now. But back in our days, we made money. And back then, the money we made, you know, was good. I mean, I was a kid in high school. I got picked up a Mako. I couldn't even sign a contract because I was underage.
Did you have your dad or your mom sign a contract?
My neighbor got me racing. Everybody thought he was my father. We went out there to Cooper, and then we realized, well, they want to pay me to ride a motorcycle. So I go get back home and get my dad to come and sign a contract.
There you go.
For 2 years.
There you go. Yeah, you just. I had a deal like that. I was a DJ, and I was going to be sent over. They wanted me to, back in the, if you remember the disco days and everything else. Yeah. Well, that was my era, right? And I had an offer to go to Japan, and because they wanted American DJs to come over there. Well, the whole deal sort of fell through because they didn't want to put the front money up. And my father looked at me, he said, "You're not leaving the country unless the first month and the last month is there." Okay, Mike, anything else you'd like to say to everybody out there? And
no, I just want, Gene does a great job here. I think all the people come here and enjoy this night. So, nope.
All righty, my friend. Well, I appreciate you. Go back and get yourself something to eat, something to drink, and relax and see some friends. And I appreciate Mikey coming by. The number one plate from 1971, Mr. Mike Cram, joining us right here from the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. Thanks, Mike, and we'll talk to you real soon. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We'll be back more right after this, everybody.
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. Downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
Out of here, man. We got about 30 minutes left to go before we turn it over to Terry Clinton and to Jerry Bernardo, who's going to be hosting the main show tonight here at the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, the 4th annual, man, as we do it right. Pre-show starting for you right here on the WCOB and on the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, and of course, all of our streaming platforms. We're doing it right. Alan Michaels, Diane Fox are on the 3rd floor of the Notoriety Nightclub right there. Yes, indeed. Is that we get ready to set in. I got another guest up on. Mr. Greg Smith is going to join us, man. We'll slap the headsets, put him in the hot seat, man. Throw him around right there. There you go, sir. You got her. There it is. There you go. Let's pull a microphone up here so they can hear you talk. There we go.
Okay.
All right. There you go. Are you
Cool.
there? There.
got it.
You got it?
Yep.
Greg, welcome to a Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, man. To tell us all about your racing career and everything that goes on, my friend.
Well, I was in at the very beginning of motocross in the U.S., and that would have been back in the late 60s.
Right.
And then in the 70s, I started a company called Wheelsmith.
Right.
And we specialized primarily in Mako motorcycles.
Great bikes.
And
Great bikes.
they were the bike to have until the Japanese started throwing a ton of money at it in the later 70s.
Right.
And in the vintage racing, I think the Makos are still
kicking
extremely property.
Still kicking. I had a buddy of mine down the street that had one, man. And I mean, when he cranked that bad boy up, you knew it was alive, man. I mean, there's something about the exhaust and the way that thing sounded. It was just unbelievable.
Yeah, and they were very comfortable to ride, particularly for the older guys.
Gene says that, and he goes, you know, Mike, you're starting to get along with us. That hair on the back of yours is turning awful gray. And I said, well, Gene, you know, 15 years with you, you've turned me gray.
Yeah, and the guy you just had up here, Mike Cram, you know, he was a Mako rider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sure was. I asked Mike, what do you see different so much in motocross back in the day that when you rode it to what it is nowadays, besides
suspension?
Suspension. Everybody has said suspension.
I mean, we started out with maybe 5.5, 6 inches in the front and 3 to 4 in the back.
Them old straight shocks, man, until they came up with the cantilever stuff and all that.
Yeah, when you landed, you knew exactly where your cavities were.
Yeah, it is. Is motocross moving in the right direction? Do you think that the sport is growing? Is it getting bigger? Or is it sort of?
Well, it's become more specialized, I think. Back then, anybody could go and buy a bike in the store,
right,
and go out and race in a lot of different places. Now you can still buy a pretty competitive bike. They're 10 to 15 times more expensive.
Right.
My first motocross bike was a CZ, and it cost $695.
Right.
A similar bike today of the current type is probably $12,000 to $14,000.
I had a buddy of mine about it. It lives in Atlanta, Georgia, bought a KTM, and I think he spent $12,000 on that thing, man. And he had to have the little specialty kits put on it, so that we're not even talking about the special. We're just talking off the showroom floor.
That's right.
When then
they add to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I raced, Greg, it was like this. You had the neighbors that came in, whether you rode a Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, made no difference. You met at the track that weekend. If I broke a chain and you had an extra chain, you'd give us the chain.
Absolutely.
You know, at the end of the day, we brought the hot dogs and the potato chips. You brought the soda pop, and the guys next door, they brought the chocolate cake.
Yep.
Then I got so out of it because it went corporate, and you had to have a sponsor money, and it just wasn't fun anymore. It got to be too competitive for me, you know, and
expensive.
Yeah, and very expensive.
Very expensive. When we opened the track in Carlsbad, very first race down there, and I was sleeping in the back of my pickup with a catalytic heater,
right,
and a tarp over the back.
There. And
Waiting
now they're
for the-
rolling, and now they're rolling in $2 million Prevost motor coaches now.
Yeah, probably more.
Yeah, that's a cheap, a $2 million. A new one is a cheap one.
That's
so.
right. That's right.
So what do you think so far of all this?
I'll tell you, I'm really I have admiration for Gene putting this effort into making this thing go. It's pretty interesting, and I really love it because I come here and I haven't seen some of these guys for 50 years.
Yeah.
And it's fun to take account and see who's still alive.
Right. Well, that's what I've said over this. This is my fourth, Greg, and the most thing that I've heard was the people walking up and looking at somebody going, "Man, I
know you.
I haven't seen you." But then they go back and they go, "I watched your kids grow up, and now your grandson's getting ready to go to University of Miami or wherever college that they're going to." And it just to see the smiles on their faces and your all's faces, I think that makes the whole day.
No, I'm really I have admiration for this whole situation. It gets us all together at least one more time.
I'll ask you this: toughest track you ever rode on?
Well, probably Carlsbad when it dried out.
Okay.
It was pretty rigorous, and back when I started riding, we were doing 45-minute motos.
Right.
That was tough.
Yeah, beating and banging on the bikes. I remember that.
It's tough.
Toughest rider you ever rode against? Or let me put it this way. Is there one guy out there that you never got his ticket? You never had, you were going to the track and his name was on the entry list and said, "Today, I got your number today. You're mine today."
Yeah. So I'm older than most of my peers.
Right.
And so I got into it a little late, and I kind of retired in like 70 when I started Will Smith. The guys that were really fast, then DeSoto was very fast.
Right.
Then my lifelong friend Tim Hart was very fast.
Right.
That's the hat.
There you go.
And I don't want to forget anybody, but obviously there were
those guys,
several others.
Yeah.
Yeah, that were important at that time, and that was when Edison Dye first brought over the Europeans.
Right.
And that's when all of our eyes were open.
When the Europeans came in.
These guys were just head and shoulders above us.
Really.
And it took about 10 or 15 years, and then the U.S. guys won the Trophy of Nations 10 years in a row, I think, or something ridiculous. So we really came around, but we dug out of a hole.
You said the difference really between the racing now and then is with the bikes is the suspension. Were the riders more tougher, physically tougher now than what they are?
I think they're equally as tough, but they have skill sets that the new suspensions have allowed them to cultivate.
Okay.
And they're faster.
There you go.
They're faster.
Well, listen, my friend, I want to thank you so much for taking time, Greg, to stop by and see us, man. You go out and enjoy everything.
Gonna do it.
We've got about 10, 20 minutes left, and then we're going to turn this thing over to Terry Clanton, and the one and only wild man, Jerry Bernardo, is in the house tonight. Oh,
thank you for your efforts.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you for that. We certainly do appreciate it. On Pit Road Racing will continue. We'll take one more break. When we come back, another guest is lined up. We're doing it live from the Neonopolis Complex Notoriety Nightclub right here. More of On Pit Road Racing right after this, everybody.
One more for instead of 5.
Coming back, we're just going to keep the break rolling because we've got just short time before we turn it over. Mr. Jimmy Odom is going to be stepping down. Jimmy, come on down, sit down, put them headsets on, and let's put you in a hot seat. How you doing, my friend?
Good. Jerry B here up in Sacramento, Union Gospel Mission, giving out some shoes to the homeless here. A lot of smiling faces. We got one deal. We give you a pair of shoes. You got to give us a smirk and a photo. And this is the mission of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, which is a non-profit organization based out of Las Vegas, started by Gene Woods. We're trying to do good things and fill little holes in people's lives the best we can. And today we're up in Sacramento, just doing the best we can. Thanks for supporting us.
We'll see him in just a couple of minutes. Him and the hot Terry Clanton will be on the other side. I told Jerry, I said, now you better choose the material white because you know Jerry can get a little off the hook. You know what I mean?
A little flamboyant on his feet.
Yeah. So tell us about your racing career, my friend.
Oh, it goes all the way back to the early 60s and stuff when I started as what they call a novice. Back then, you had to be 18 years old to get a professional license. And my career spans quite a different start. We started with rigid frames, no brakes, and all that kind of stuff. And it evolved into what's going on in the racing careers today. So I got to race throughout the United States, starting off with, I had a Triumph factory ride when I was very young, 18 years old. I was the top novice in the nation and also the top junior in the nation, as they called it back then. And so I got a ride and rode for Triumph for a few years and then jumped on some privateer stuff on my own and then wound up going to Yamaha. But back then, when I started racing, you had to race all of the venues, meaning you had to ride short track.
Right.
Could be an 1/8 mile to a 1/4 mile.
Right.
And then a 1/2 mile on a flat track and then miles on a flat track and then TT racing. And then also road racing. In order to be number one, you had to do all of those and get all those points to get the number one.
You just couldn't get in there with one little shot. And
yeah, right.
No, because
I mean, it's all evolved, but it's been a great life for me, and I always refer to it as my second family. The motorcycle, whatever it is, like Gene's Speedway thing and being inducted into his Hall of Fame. I'm one of the first guys in the first group, the first year, 4 years going, and I'm here every year to support Gene.
Isn't there something else? They're loading in here. The showgirls are here. People are picking up flags. You got the good cocktails rolling today, man. I'm just telling you, of course.
It's a fun place, and if I can come and support Gene and stuff like that. This year he's kind of honoring Mert Lawwell, who's a close friend. I traveled with him. He rode for Harley and stuff like that. Unfortunately, he had a little accident. He's not going to be here, but we're going to do some I think he's got a video and stuff about him.
Yeah, they did a real nice presentation, and I was looking forward to having Mert down. I heard he had a fall or something. Not quite sure what it all is, but if he's not able to travel, but still, it would have been nice. But things do like this happen. Yeah. And I said this. I was talking to Keith Mashburn earlier. You know what I've always loved about this sport, and I've been in radio business and marketing for a long time. But whether it's motorcycles, whether it's cars, there's one thing, and I think you'll agree with everybody else. This industry is family.
Oh, yeah.
It really is. I mean, whether you're a motorcycle racer, you're a car racer, whether you rode on dirt or you rode on asphalt, it didn't make it, whether you rode a Harley, a Yamaha, or a Mako, or whatever it might be, where you drove a Chevrolet or a Ford, when it comes down to it.
I was a factory Triumph rider, and I traveled with Mert, who was a Harley factory rider, and so we're buddies here, but when we were on the racetrack, we're competitors, and we're still friends, and so, I mean, it's just like you just said, I raced motorcycles for all these years, and then I'm doing some traveling with my wife now and all this kind of stuff. I was in Iceland 6 months ago, and I went to do a venture ride on a motorcycle, and the guy that owned the shop, and I didn't even know it, used to watch me race at Ascot Park.
Isn't that funny?
And when I came in, he's going, "Well, did you ride?" And all. We went through a little bit of a questionnaire and answer to get this ride I wanted to do. And then finally, I said, "Yeah, I race motorcycles." He goes, "Did you happen to race at Ascot?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, what's your name?" And I told him, and he goes, "Man, I used to watch you there." So I mean, he's now part of my motorcycle family. Right. And they extend that out there. So people like you and like all this kind of stuff. I mean, I don't think people really realize how far it goes motorized. I mean, I got NASCAR buddies and all that. The same kind of thing. I mean, it's been a great.
It really is.
It's been a great life for me.
It's been 30 years that I've been doing. Like I said, I started as a DJ spinning records, rock and roll, and this and that, and whatever. And I got tired of it because it was, what it was? It was the same 20 songs all day, all night long. And I said, I got to have something different than this. And my first thing I ever did, Martinsville Speedway. Now I'd been to motorcycle racing before, okay, right. But they sent me out to do a live remote at Martinsville Speedway, right? First interview I ever did was with the one great Ned Jarrett. I don't know if you know who Ned is.
I know Ned.
Okay. And a pouring rainstorm came in. We had equipment like this, and all of a sudden we ended up doing a remote off of a telephone line, and we flopped that. But from that point on, Ned looked over at me. He said, "Young man, it's probably one of the best interviews I've ever had done with me." He goes, "Don't let this put you down. You keep going." And that's exactly what I did from that point. I said, "No more music, no more this, no more that." Wow. This is where I'm at. I'm in motorsports, and I'm staying here until.
Is awesome.
And that's it.
Anyway,
Jimmy, thanks so much for taking time out with us. I appreciate it. Yep. And you go get yourself a cold beer, cocktail, something to eat, and enjoy the show.
All right.
And if you see Jerry Bernardo, tell him he better get ready because I'm turning it over to him. Okay.
All right.
We got about 15 minutes left here. We'll take one more quick break. We'll come back. We'll wrap it up as the pre-show from On Pit Road Racing live here at the WCOBM is going to continue on right after this, everybody.
Las Vegas, Nevada, where everything seems to move a little bit faster.
Like a lot faster. Like 200 miles an hour faster. It's more than a race. It's full throttle insanity. The drivers aren't the only ones on the joyride.
Family, friends, and unforgettable moments. I'm talking full throttle mayhem. I'm talking NASCAR in Vegas. What could go wrong?
Welcome to my world. Handicap man down at a charity feed. Great spread this morning. God, it was horrible. But it made what I needed to happen. Then I had these people that stopped and said, "Hey, you want some shoes?" I said, "Yeah, I was going to need to get some anyway. So might as well." And if it really comes to fruition, help them buy more shoes so that we can help more people. Well, I'm not but you know what I mean. Hell, might as well. There's nothing wrong with helping someone. You know, it makes for good karma or good energy, whatever it takes. Hell, I ought to do a product placement for Coca-Cola too.
You're pushing it, Turtle, but have a good day. Thanks, mate. I appreciate you coming on camera.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man.
All right, talk to you later.
Later, dude.
Better? Worse?
Well, I like yesterday morning, I left Guerrero Negro in Mexico, drove back up to come up to this event.
Okay.
I was down, I'm the motorcycle course director for the Nora Mexico 1000, or I think I am. We're working on this.
Okay.
But so I was doing that. I came back up here, got a little sleep, got my bikes ready for a little dual sport ride we're doing tomorrow with some of the guys that are out here. And then I managed to win that little go-kart race downstairs.
Ah, you mastered the drift track, did you?
Yeah, it's so much fun.
What a cool.
Yeah,
Tell us about the ride tomorrow, because I actually had a note. So tell us about the ride tomorrow. That'll be a good thing to wrap this segment up with.
Well, it's just I've known Gene for a while now. He's been super helpful to me in some of the projects that I do, and I just said, hey, Gene, I have I do off-road training. I have a facility out in Pahrump, Nevada, which is just over the hill. Gene likes to say it's one toilet flush south of Las Vegas, so just over the hill. And so I have a facility. It's like, hey, if some of the guys here want to bring out their dual sport or adventure bikes or even dirt bikes, I'm probably going to ride my regular dirt bike, and we're going to ride out to someplace, grab a little snack, and ride back.
A little 25, 30 miler, 40 miler?
100.
We're going to go 100 miles?
Yeah, 100. It's, it's dual sport adventure. It's easy.
You taking Gene with you?
I'm trying to. He's been going in his garage every month and starting his new Husky.
A Husky?
He has a Husky 2-stroke.
Wait a second. I didn't know. The last thing that I saw him buy was that darn big Honda thing that he's got out there and had that road kit put on it.
Right. He wised up and got a really nice Husky 300 2-stroke, and yeah, he's been itching to go ride. So I don't know. He said he's sleeping in tomorrow. I'm like, that's why we're starting at 10.
Yeah, he gets up. He's at the breakfast joint at 6 o'clock in the morning.
That's
man.
what I said. I said. So 7:30 means sleeping in. Let's go.
That's it. Let's riding, man.
Let's go ride.
What do you think about all this up here and what's going on? Do you think that Gene and everybody, Keith, that we've all put a good programming, I think, together here?
It's super awesome. I mean, it's I like it because I've been to a lot of different kind of the Hall of Fame things. It's not my thing. I like riding. That's why I decided to do a dual sport ride stuff. But this is super low key. There's a go-kart race.
Yeah,
you can go and do, and you just get to. It's funny because you see guys you haven't seen for 20 and 30 years. I saw Stu Peters from CMC Motorsports here tonight. Stu Peters, I jokingly say Stu Peters helped me go to college because I won as a motocross racer. I won a CMC Dodge Trucks scholarship, and it paid for me to go to college. It helped a good chunk. And I saw Stu here tonight, which was really cool. Kevin Schwantz recognized me, and I don't know how or why, because last time I think I recognized Kevin Schwantz is when we were at a supermoto track and we crossed wheels and we both went cartwheeling off the track. That's how I know Kevin. Maybe he wanted to pay me back, but he was super nice.
That happened to me last year. I was telling Keith last year that I grew up, man, Kenny Roberts and Brad Lackey and all those guys, right?
Yeah.
Well, they came in and Gene and I were sitting there talking, and I said, man, if Brad comes in, I'd really like to meet. I said, man, I had posters of Brad Lackey on my wall as a kid growing up. And Gene turns around and goes, hey, Brad, come here. I got somebody I want to introduce you to. And he walks up, and I'm looking at the photo that is lifetime achievement photo on the plaque, and I'm looking at Brad, and he goes, man, I don't look like that anymore. He goes, that's a lot of food and beer in my belly right there. So I thought, okay.
And one of the best things about an event like this is you can start talking and bench racing the guys that may have been pioneering for what I'm a lot younger than most of the guys here. I hope. These are the guys that kind of paved the way and pioneered some of the stuff I got to do. And you get to hear the real stories of what went on. I mean, because like when they're racing and they're in the thick of it, they can't really tell you. But even up on the stage, they're going to tell you kind of the way it really was. I remember last year what some of the stuff that Kenny was saying last year, and it's just a very eclectic mix of guys. It's an awesome event that Gene puts together here, and I think anybody, if you're not here, definitely watch it on the stream. But it's kind of Vegas is sort of easy for most people to get to. You can kind of mix it up. I think they just had the Mecum auction in town, so I think that brings a lot of people in. and then they can kind of stick around and do this.
The only thing that I wish we could get is get the date out because everybody's running motocross in Anaheim tonight too. So I wish we could sort of get that out of the, go the week before or the week after. But racing is racing.
Yeah,
so.
you never know. And I mean, well, it's like they do that Supercross almost every weekend. I can watch it on TV, and it's almost better than being there sometimes. But like I said, but if you haven't been to Supercross, I say go to Supercross. But if you haven't been here, come here and check this out. It's a fun, neat event. I like I said, I literally drove, I don't even know how many, 20 hours to get back.
20 hours. And you're still awake? You've been at Hammer and Harry, so I don't know what's going to happen after that.
That was like somebody handed me that. That's a free gift certificate. Larkin Wright rolled over to me and started trying to buy me drinks. So he's trying to get me going. But
I'll tell you, this is just that we get. I got about 5 minutes. I got about 3 minutes here left on it. We're going to send it over to the big main room, and we'll let Terry and Jerry take a hold of things and have a good deal and everything else. So it's just the way it is.
There's that Kevin Schwantz guy.
There's Kevin Schwantz. We're going to wrap this up. I want to thank you for stopping by. I got to pack this up. We got to send it over to the other side. Terry and Jerry will be ready to go for you in just about 30 minutes. On Pit Road Racing is wrapping up its pre-show event for the 2024 Hot Shoe Hall of Fame 4.0. Up next, Terry Clanton. And the one and only wild man himself, Jerry Bernardo, will be your host of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. For Alan Michaels, Diane Fox, and all the crew here at the Neonopolis Complex, we'll see you guys in about 30 minutes on our Facebook channel for streaming live. Back with more, everybody. Have a good day.